beauties, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Riri, and I love recommendations from other creators and other beauties. Flawed and Fabulous, I love you, has recommended to me the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation and the concealer. She had watched my Like, Love, and Loathes where I had tried the original one of this. And it was just a like for me because I loved the price point, the shade variation, and the coverage of it, but it was just way too dry for me, like uncomfortably dry. So she, left a comment. She's like, hey, I have a review and I will link her review down below. She's like, I have a review of it. I think you'll love it. So thank you so much, Flawed and Fabulous. I'm really excited to try this. As you guys know, I have very dry textured skin. I have pretty decent skin overall, aside from when I get like a little something going on, but like right now my skin's looking fabulous. But traditionally I definitely have to go more, dewy, luminous, hydrating, things like that. So I'm hoping, as long as this gives me a little bit of coverage, that this is going to work out for me. So thank you, Flawed and Fabulous. If you're unfamiliar with the Revolution, this is Makeup Revolution London. This is their Conceal and Hydrate. I got the shade F6 and then C5 for my concealer. And I did write down the prices just to make sure that I could let y'all know, because one of your recommendations and or constructive criticism has been, I love what you do. I love that you're thorough with the products, reviews, etc. But can you give us more deets? And I am on that, and absolutely. So thank you guys so much. Please keep, any kind of recommendations and constructive criticism coming. That doesn't mean be an asshole, okay? I'm all for someone saying, hey, can you slow down your speaking? Can you brighten your lights? Can you turn the music off? I'm all for someone coming into the comments or, messaging me via Instagram and saying, hey, I love this, but this could be better. Could you do this differently? Just like I've gotten quite a few requests to actually swatch palettes. And I think for me, the reason that I don't swatch is because there's so many very large influencers that I know get palettes off the bat and they're swatching them for y'all. But then I also have to reel myself in and say, not everybody's watching larger influencers. A lot of people are just starting or are watching smaller influencers and are smaller influencers themselves. So I am definitely taking that into consideration. I will always stand by the claim that I do not recommend going by a swatch. I just don't recommend it. I have swatched products on my hands, on my arms before, and they look absolutely stunning and perform like shit on the lids, and vice versa. I've swatched them and they've been kind of powdery and loose and dusty, but then when I apply them to the lids, it's a different type of skin, guys. And normally we have our lids either primed or prepped in some kind of way, and the oils and the actual texture of the eyelid skin is totally different. But I want you guys to come here and watch content that you want to see, and I'm here for you guys. I want to make you guys happy. So I will definitely start swatching when I do palettes and stuff like that. I do always pre-record, so if you see in between, I may have longer blonde and pink hair, and then you'll see me now, vice versa. That's because I do pre-film. So if you see me doing any kind of palettes in between now and then and in the next month or so, it's because those are pre-recorded. But as of now, I will be doing swatches and stuff for you guys and being more thorough in pricing and things like that for you guys. That's a long ass intro and I'm sorry. So the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate is $12 for the foundation and $10 for the hydrating concealer. They offer only 16 shades in the hydrating versus 50 in the standard one. And from September 22nd to September 28th, I don't know exactly when this is going up, but as of now and until the 28th of September, the regular Revolution Conceal and Define is 40% off. So you can get them for crazy cheap right now if the regular formula works for you. I am a little bit bummed that the Hydrate, which I know that's the newer formulation for them, I'm a little bummed that it only comes in 16 shades, whereas the regular one comes in 50. I think that's incredible. And I hope the shade works for me. If not, it is what it is. And I did go shorter in my hair. I think I'm still going to go a little bit shorter. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm thinking to go a little bit shorter than what I have right now. I am also going to change things up a little bit. I haven't gotten a request for this or anything like that. I just want to kind of do it for myself, and I'm going to try to do it for every foundation kind of routine, review, tutorial, things like that. As far as like a newer product, I am going to go ahead and spray with my Pixie. I always spray with either this or some type of hydrating spray always prior to any makeup application. And this has hyaluronic acid, which is phenomenal for dry skin. It helps to really hydrate and boost and brighten the skin. And then I'm going to go in. I've just been lately using the No Problem Essence. It feels and smells so amazing on the skin, you guys. And I like that I can just kind of be lazy and just kind of like lather it all over, you know. So I'm going to start. I am not a huge fan of blenders as far as for actual makeup application. I always use them to like chisel out my jaw, you know, to do my contour and stuff like that. And I always use a blender to press out my concealers. I am, however, only because I have found one that I really, really like and have been enjoying as far as like the texture and stuff like that. I am going to start in foundation reviews using a blender on one side and a brush on the other. This is a brand called BEAUTIES, and I actually did like a little review and like a PR package from them. This is in no way sponsored. I just happen to really like this, and I've tried a million different sponges. But this is before wetting it, and this is after. It is very, very soft and feels really nice on the skin. So I really want to give a fair shot and kind of show people the difference in a foundation review and kind of first impression. If you do use a sponge, then you can say, okay, you know, I think that that's how it could look on my own skin. And if you use a brush, my preference, then you'll see that as well. So we are ready to go. Everything is primed. I am hydrated, and we are going to open her up. I'm really nervous, y'all. Like I said, I loved the way that the coverage and stuff was on the other one. It just was so damn cakey on me. So if you have dry skin, or you're more mature beauty like myself, I always shake up any product. Oh, I'm nervous, y'all. And I really love this too. I wish all companies would do this, because it has a pump, so you can pump it out, or you can also unscrew it. And then it has, pretty sure mine's broke, because I don't think it's supposed to look like that. I'm not quite sure. I don't think mine will look like that. It was an actual doe foot. And this looks really weird and really gross, and the top's coming off. We're going to put that right back on, and we're just going to pump a little bit. Okay? I don't know how much to use. A lot of times with a more hydrating formula, they're not going to be quite as full coverage. That's actually pretty thick. So I'm pleasantly surprised. That looks really light, but we're going to see what happens. I always put the products on the back of my hand. And when I do a beauty sponge, I either make little dots all over my face and then blend it in, or I put it on the butt side of the blender. I, again, always start in this area of my face here, because that's where I have any blemishes, acne, scarring, hyperpigmentation, rosacea, everything that I could not want in my skin. So I always start with this area first, and then in the outer perimeter of my face, I use much less product. So let's go. Oh yeah, she's light. That's okay though. So again, I kind of pounce the bulk of the product in the areas that I obviously need the extra coverage. This sponge feels so soft, you guys. And I'm not a fan of blenders. This is not something that I would do all the time for just like my personal use. And the main reason I don't like a sponge, first and foremost, most of them I don't like the texture of, and I don't like how they actually feel on the skin. But you typically get a better, more full coverage look with a brush, and you use less product. That is very light. Okay. So we're going to ignore that part. It's just first impressions. It's going on really beautifully though. I'm actually surprised that it has as much coverage as it does. Again, being a more hydrating foundation, most of them are not traditionally fuller coverage. And then I'm just going to drag it down. Again, I don't really need to pounce in these areas because, oh my god, I look like a ghost. Because I don't need the extra coverage in the perimeter of my face. So just kind of whatever is left. Getting up into the ears. This is not going to match me anyway, so I'm not going to be worried about that part of it today. I am going to try to build it up, but let me get close and show you this side first. And I've really been trying to avoid, like I only go to about right here on my under eye. Don't bring the foundation all the way up and then use concealer on top of that. That's just too much product, especially for someone with more dry skin, more mature skin, kind of wrinkles, anything like that. I'm just going to add not even a pump, like a dot. And again, I'm just going to kind of focus it through here. I actually thought it was going to be slightly more, I guess, illuminating than this. So I'm pleasantly surprised about that. I want hydration and I want a little bit of like my skin coming through. I don't want it to look sweaty or too luminous. I feel like there's definitely a difference in natural radiance coming through versus too much and it looking oily on your skin. So far so good. I'm interested to see the difference once I add some with the brush. Okay, so I'm going to get close and we can see the difference. So definitely I would maybe not call it full coverage because I can still see just a little bit of like some acne kind of scarring coming through. But it definitely covered all the redness and the broken capillaries and stuff like that. So I'm going to go back in. I'm just going to take the point of the the blender, and just make sure that there's no creasing or anything on the nose areas, which we'll double check that before we set it with powder. Okay, so far so good. Now we're going to go into the brush. I always use a flat top kabuki brush. This is just one from, I'm pretty sure this is BH Cosmetics. Yeah, BH Cosmetics. I literally have a ton of these. They're just my favorite for foundation, and I always keep multiples, and I always keep extra clean ones on hand because I will not use a brush, even on my own self, more than a few times or more than like a week's time span. I typically, you guys have heard me say, when I do my face masks and stuff like that on Sundays, I wash my brushes and stuff. Especially if I'm filming a lot. I'm very cautious about keeping my makeup very clean. So I'm going to just shake it up again and do 2 pumps. I'm nervous. And then same thing. I pick up the product on the brush, or you can put little dots and then blend it from there. And I go into, again, this part of my face where mama needs some help. And I always start with stippling, pouncing motions with the brush. That really allows you to build up the coverage. Yeah, already I like that better. But already allows you to build up the coverage. You also don't waste as much product when you use a brush. Oh my god, this is so light. I don't know if it's coming up quite as light on the screen as it is like in person, but it ain't cute, y'all. Again, kind of avoiding getting directly under the eye. I'm only coming to about right there. That's so fucking light. Whew, okay. And a lot of people complain about like brush strokes and stuff like that. I really think that doing kind of the pouncing motions definitely helps that. And then again, on the outer perimeter of the face, I just use circular puffing motions. And then we're going to pull it down. And then just make sure that it's blended out. So you can actually, I'm seeing it myself and I'm seeing it from here. You can see how much more coverage this is because I look a lot more fair on this side than I do on this side. So you can see the difference in the coverage. So far, so good. I think it's blending out really nice. I'm going to be interested to see, because of the slight luminosity in it, if it's going to make me look, greasy at all or heavy at all. And then again, how long is it going to last? Now I'm just going to take the sponge. There's nothing on it, no additional product, and I'm just going to go over it. I do this at the end of my makeup application with my highlight as well, just to make sure that everything is blended beautifully into the skin. So let's get up close. So yeah, you can definitely see the difference in the two sides. I feel like you can. I feel like this side is definitely looking a little bit more full coverage. I am not liking how it is starting to look right here in my nose. So I'm going to blend that out. Just a touch. And then before I go in with my powder, and I'm using the Becca Hydra Mist. You guys know, again, because I have such dry skin, I cannot powder a lot. I cannot put a lot of product on my face, and I wipe it directly off. This is a Morphe M536. It's just a fluffy kind of tapered brush. And I'm going to put just a little bit of the Hydra Mist on, but I'm going to go ahead and press any kind of wrinkling, creasing, anything like that out. You always want to do that prior to setting the makeup. If you set the makeup with creasing there, it is going to stay creased. And then I stay nice and taut just like this. And then I'm going to go in. And that's just going to ensure that you're not going to lock in any kind of creasing. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side just to make sure, again, that we're not creasing. And then I'm going to keep my skin just nice and relaxed. I don't want to, like, you know, crinkle my face or anything like that, because then however it stays, however it is before putting on the powder is how it's going to stay. And then just because I'm already starting to see like a little, oh, that's not good, a little something something right there, we're going to set that area as well. And sometimes I will do that. I will set all the way down here. This powder is incredible if you have not tried it. Oh, it's great. And I've heard a lot of people say that it dries out. I just make sure I push mine down really hard and seal it really well. And then obviously you just put it right back up. And then I'm going to take a clean face brush. Just any, this is from Eco Tools. Eco Tools. And just wipe off this little bit of powder. Again, because my skin is so dry that I cannot do that. And I already said it before using fucking concealer. Ha ha ha. This may not work out, guys. We're going to try the concealer. Note to self, don't forget your concealer. Okay, so again, this is shade C5. And I love that it's like a huge doe foot. This is probably not going to look very good, you guys. Oh, Lord. So I'm just going to put just a little bit. I don't do a ton of concealer. Again, especially for more mature beauties. You do not want to put a lot of product under the eyes or around the eyes. Like less is more as we get a little bit older. Or if you have very dry skin or crepey skin. Oh, it's actually, I'm surprised. It's blending out pretty damn good. But yeah, you never want to set before you put on your concealer. Unless like before you do your foundation, if you have very, very oily skin, you can take a very light dusting of powder, setting powder or loose powder over the entire face and then do your foundation. Like wipe the powder off and then do your foundation. That is if you have very oily skin. Alright, I'm actually not mad at it. It went on pretty decently. Let me get up in this little corner right here because... Alright, I'm not going to reset it. We're just going to pray to God that nothing bad happens. I'm going to go in with my IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Airbrush Perfecting Powder in the Illumination. And this is shade Medium. And I'm just going to take a super open fluffy brush. And very, very lightly, not loading up the brush, I'm just tapping into the product. And I also always do this, especially like when it's still hot and stuff like that outside. And I will set the perimeter part of my face because obviously I've already set the rest of the face where I put concealer and stuff at. So I'm just going to set. And then we're going to get up close. I'm scared. Again, making sure any additional product is off. And then my final step always is to go back in and spray again. I normally spray with either an illuminating or hydrating type of setting spray, or I use my MAC Fix Plus. You can also use like Ulta Beauty Water, whatever you got, whatever you have, okay. All right, we're gonna get real close. Oh, mama. I think it's throwing me off because it's light. So we're just gonna have to see what happens in a few hours. So we're gonna get really close. I actually am pleasantly surprised. I think it looks really beautiful. It is way more full coverage than I thought it was going to be. And I do see a little bit of luminosity kind of peeking through. I still don't feel like it's super luminous, but we'll see. Maybe obviously it sets in differently from the warmth of our skin. I can already tell, and that's probably my fuck up because I accidentally put powder on first. I can already see like a little bit of settling through here and through here. So we'll see how that holds up. The nose actually doesn't look as bad. It's looking a little bit kind of cakey. But I think overall it's really, really beautiful. And yeah, I'm going to be filming another tutorial. So when I come back later tonight, I will look a little bit different. Check out my Namaste shirt. Let me not drop my phone, y'all. Hope y'all can see it. It's so cute. So yeah, I will definitely be back. It is right now 5:46. I don't know if y'all can tell. 5:46. I will wear it till at least 10-ish, 11-ish, depending on what time I'm getting ready to wind down for bed, which y'all know I have insomnia, so I stay up late as fuck. But anyways, so far so good. I wish I would have gotten it in my shade because I think that's throwing me off a little bit. Excuse me. But I think coverage is really nice. I'm just concerned about this area, but again, that was my screw up, so I may revisit this again. But I think so far so good. I like it. I think it has pretty coverage and it doesn't feel dry yet or anything like that. So, all right. I'll see you in a few hours. Bye. All right, beauties. We are here with our check-in. I don't know if it's my allergies or what's going on, but I am feeling very, very exhausted. I'm not on my tripod, so my bad on that. It is now 9. I don't know what time it is. Hold on 1 second. 9:13 p.m. So it's been on for about 4 hours-ish. The only thing I can say, and it could just be my skin, maybe I didn't hydrate enough tonight, I don't know, but it is definitely settling in my nose pretty badly. And I've also kind of accumulated just a little bit of oil on my nose and a little bit through here. Not enough that I would blot. I like that personally. I know some people don't, but for me, I really enjoy that look. But other than it like kind of settling just a little bit here, I don't even mind how it ended up starting to look around the eyes like I thought I was going to have the issue with. I guess because as I've worn it, again, you know, the warmth of our skin and stuff like that and our natural oil is starting to come up. Here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Say hello. Say hello. Oh, you. He's camera shy. He don't run into family. Anyways, sorry guys. Anywho's, I think that it looks amazing. It didn't settle here. It didn't settle in my lines right here, which normally a foundation will. I think that it still looks really pretty. I like it. I think I'll use it again. I definitely will like update you guys and use the concealer again because that was my fault that I was an idiot and put powder there. But overall, I really love it. And thank you again for the recommendation. I truly appreciate it because now I can have a cheaper foundation to use. So thank you, beauties. Again, if you like this video at all, then please give me a thumbs up and subscribe below. If you'll tap that notification bell, I'd be even more grateful and thankful. And please always remember to be your own best beautiful. Bye, beauties.